The Edmund Pettus Bridge stands as a monument to the civil rights movement. On March 7, 1965, this bridge became a symbol of racial injustice. Hundreds of peaceful protesters, marching for the right to vote, were brutally attacked. State troopers and local law enforcement unleashed tear gas and billy clubs. The day became known as Bloody Sunday. These shocking images broadcast on national television awakened the conscience of a nation. The violence on the Edmund Pettus Bridge ignited a firestorm of outrage and activism. Americans from all walks of life were horrified by the brutality inflicted upon peaceful marchers. The events of Bloody Sunday became a turning point in the fight for civil rights. The nation could no longer ignore the plight of African Americans in the South. The demand for justice and equality could no longer be silenced. The Edmund Pettus Bridge, once a symbol of segregation and oppression, was transformed into a symbol of courage and resistance. The blood spilled on that bridge cried out for justice. The world watched as ordinary men and women stood up to injustice. They faced down hatred and violence with extraordinary bravery. The legacy of Bloody Sunday extends far beyond Selma, Alabama. It serves as a reminder of the fragility of democracy and the constant need to safeguard the right to vote. The Edmund Pettus Bridge stands as a testament to the power of peaceful protest and the importance of speaking truth to power. It is a sacred space where the fight for equality continues to this day. The brutal attack on the Edmund Pettus Bridge galvanized the civil rights movement, leading to the Selma to Montgomery marches. Thousands of people, led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., marched 54 miles to demand voting rights for African Americans. The marches, met with fierce resistance, ultimately pressured President Lyndon B. Johnson to sign the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The Voting Rights Act was a landmark achievement, outlawing discriminatory voting practices that had disenfranchised African Americans for generations. It was a triumph for democracy, ensuring equal access to the ballot box for all citizens. The act led to a dramatic increase in black voter registration and participation in the South. However, the fight for voting rights did not end in 1965. In recent years, there have been concerted efforts to restrict voting access, particularly among minority communities. Restrictive voter ID laws, reduced early voting periods, and purging of voter rolls have disproportionately impacted black and brown voters. These efforts to suppress the vote are a stark reminder that the struggle for equal rights is far from over. Despite the passage of the Voting Rights Act, the promise of equal access to the